What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to our spoiler-free review for The Ugly Stepsister. So, if you've never heard of this film, this is a Norwegian film that was written and directed by, and I'm going to tear this name up. I apologize in advance. I think it's Emilie Blichfeldt. Blishfeld.
I like how you always look to me like I know that.
Well, because I'm hoping that maybe you heard somebody say their name in an interview or something like that. Well, look, I apologize. I'm sure I tore that up, but Emilie Blichfeldt was the one that wrote and direct this film. Wrote and direct this film. I don't know why I'm tearing that up. But check it out, y'all. So if you know the story of Cinderella, this is basically the horror version of that story. But just in case you forgot what that story is, let me go ahead and read you the synopsis over on IMDb. And it reads, the ugly stepsister follows Elvira as she battles against her gorgeous stepsister in a realm where beauty reigns supreme. She resorts to extreme measures to captivate the prince amidst a ruthless competition of physical perfection. But yeah, it stars is it Leia or Lee Mirren as Elvira? So she's the lead in this film. Also stars Tia Sophie Lockness as Agnes. She plays I'm trying to get it backwards. Like, who is the stepsister and who ain't? Because they're both stepsisters to each other. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But yeah,
in this case, she is Elvira's stepsister.
Right. Okay. But yeah, they're playing the leads, and just like I said, man, this is the most horror version of Cinderella that I've ever seen. I don't even know if there is a horror version out there.
I don't know.
But this is definitely that take. Now you watched it first before I did, so I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Oh, why I gotta go first?
Well, you watched it first. You're the one that was like, "Oh yeah, you got to watch this." After we had both heard a lot of things over at the Overlook Film Festival because it's screened over there. But then you got a chance to watch it, and so I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think about The Ugly Stepsister?
Okay, well, I really liked this movie. I loved the performances. They really sold the story. I liked the overall whimsical fantasy aspect or atmosphere of the movie. It did feel like if this was a fairy tale, it felt like a fairy tale. Like it reminded me of other films I used to like when I was younger. Like I was a huge fan of Secret Garden. It was like one of my favorite movies. The King and I. Oh, yeah. Things like that. This was what this movie feels like and looks like visually, except there's really dark things happening. So, right. But I think they nail that energy of a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's definitely got that dreamy fairy tale aspect to it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I would compare it to a Pan's Labyrinth, like the way it looks in a way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really like the way it looked, and for this to be Emilia's first feature film that she wrote and directed, I think that this was amazing. Yeah. She really captured a lot. It was very multi-layered. There was a lot of different messages and themes throughout the story, but she was able to balance it all where it didn't feel like it was too much going on. So there are two main characters, but she also does a good job of capturing the other side of other characters, like the mom and stuff like that, where, like I said, it doesn't no one overshadows the other. I think she really has the tone and the balance of storytelling, horror, and basically this body horror element. I think she does a good job of marrying all those things together where they don't feel nothing feels out of place. And then obviously what people come to watch this movie for is the body horror. Now, I personally don't like body horror because it makes me feel weird. But I think she did a really good job with okay, so I didn't really look away from anything except for one thing. And I was actually surprised at myself because she makes it so it's kind of turning the dial up on something. So it's not shock factor right away. It's kind of it increases. I don't know. It was just really good. I think she just did a really good job.
She did a great job
overall. And then the practical effects and stuff like that, like everything down to like the production design to me is like really good. I don't know who is in charge of that, but they did a really good job with that. Like it feels like you're in another world, and I just loved it. I loved all of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I liked like the dreamy aspect to it. It's almost like this dreamy airiness to it. That's like it has this like playful fantasy element to it, but it quickly descends into extreme horror. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like you said, the practical effects were top notch. There is a lot of like squeamish type of scenes. There's a lot of body horror as you know, and this is one of the things I really liked was like, I liked the overall character arc and development. I liked, cause like, man, when you watch this film and you watch, I'm sure I pronounced her name wrong, but Leah play Elvira, like seeing her from the beginning of the film and in the film is like a crazy descent into madness. A
backwards character.
Yeah, it's so wild to see that transformation of who she started as and who she ends up becoming, and you're just like, damn, like this is crazy to see. But through that, there's a lot of the body horror elements. Of course, has like the messaging towards this relentless chase to the perfect beauty standard. You know what I'm saying? And that. Doing it in this way with this like extreme body horror, I thought was just like a creative way to kind of really like drive home the message while playing into the horror aspect. Because typically horror has messages. It plays off of things that we experience in society, and I just thought this was a really creative way to tell the story of Cinderella, but then incorporate things that people deal with in everyday life, especially when it comes to beauty standards. And then look, this is both on men and women's side. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ends up, trying to chase a certain level of physical beauty. You know what I mean? Whether it be from as simple as, I got to change my hair color, or I got to lose weight, or whatever the case may be. Everybody on this planet goes through that as society dictates or tries to dictate to us like what beauty is. And then it was just kind of incredible how this story like played into that while still keeping the Cinderella aspect of it all. Yeah. But it's a gorgeous film, like from the perspective of like how it's shot. Like it just that outside like the dreamy look there, like when it goes into that like body horror element, like the kind of the way that she kind of lingers on it a little bit and does these really almost like artistic, strange, like close-up shots that really like drive in like, yeah, like that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think to me, a little bit of her playfulness, I guess, in terms of the camera, remind me a little bit of Argento's, the way he plays with the camera in some of his films as well. I also like, because she hones in on a lot of different body parts.
Yeah, she hones in on everything. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. So this is not a story for kids.
Oh, whatsoever. It's very graphic.
It's a graphic film.
It's a graphic film. Yeah, this is not the little kids.
No, it's definitely
Cinderella.
not that.
No, this is for the grown folk.
I was actually surprised by some of the stuff. I was like, oh, okay, we're going there with this particular scene.
Yeah.
But I also liked how emotional it was at times too, because like Elvira, her chase to be perfect for this prince, right? That she's trying to, help her family, but also go after this dream she's always had of having this, beautiful love story, right? Like, but getting there, like she's kind of sent through the ringer and you feel for her. Like it's super brutal.
Yeah.
Not just the stuff that happens to her physically, but like emotionally, mentally as well. And it's almost make you like tear up a little bit. But yeah, so like having that emotional weight added in there too is kind of surprising to me too.
Yeah, I agree with that, because there are a lot of sad moments, and you kind of feel bad for everybody that's involved with this overall story. Which I thought was kind of interesting. So I feel like typically with Cinderella, like, you know, you're just mad at everybody else.
Right.
And you don't really look at it as like a, dang, you know what, I actually feel bad for like everybody. And especially because you get a lot of backstory for everything kind of without it being exposition or anything. Everything's told either visually or just like, you know, context clues and things like that. Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. And so you kind of get a sense of the whole picture of what's going on that causes, you know, Elvira to be this way. And just like you said, everything she has to deal with, and what Agnes has to deal with, everybody. Like, damn, this is just a sad story all the way around.
Yeah. And that's kind of how, what I was kind of thinking of when I talked about like that balancing of the characters, because it's not like you walk away from the film either rooting for one or the other or anything like that. It's just like a very sad situation across the board type of thing. And like you understand and empathize with all of the characters involved. Like you understand why the mom is doing what she's doing, and you understand why Elvira is doing what she's doing, you know, and Agnes and things like that. Like you have empathy for all of these characters.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. But yeah, I can't stress enough about the body horror graphic element. You know, and it's funny because like I don't really care about like, I never get really affected when it's like bodies getting chopped up or anything like that. But you know, one thing that I do not like is like throw up or throwing up. And so
he doesn't even like when he throws.
Oh yeah, no,
it's super depressing.
It's super depressing. I don't know what it is about the act of throwing up, but I don't like that shit.
You up, man.
And there's a couple scenes I think throughout this film that have that. And she was watching me watching, and she's like, "Why are you looking away?" I'm like, "Look, I can watch a body get chopped up, but I do not like watch people throw shit up." And this movie has like the ultimate throw up scene.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty like it's almost like a payoff. You know what I'm saying? Even though I mean the film is incredible front to back, but then you get this like crazy epic climax of like some crazy shit.
Now I've seen some people compare this to The Substance. How do you think it compares?
Oh, I mean they deal with a similar message, so I guess I can understand that. I feel like they're tackling different angles of the message. I feel like The Substance is more talking about like age and beauty and whatnot. This one I think is just kind of, I don't know. I feel like it just applies like in all levels because I feel like everybody, you know, strives to find what their ideal is for beauty, whether it be them, you know, getting plastic surgery from the BBLs and stuff like that to whatever the case may be, like getting them ab implants. I know dudes be doing that now, getting the little like ab things underneath so their abs are more like defined, and you know, so like literally anything that deals with like that's what I'm saying. It applies to everybody across the spectrum, so everyone can relate to this idea of like, oh, I'm trying to be as perfect as I can. So how I'm naturally born isn't good enough. Like, you know, my parents are dictating the beauty standard, or society's dictating the beauty standard. The school is dictating beauty standard. There's some sort of influence in our life that's dictating the beauty standard, and then we're trying to achieve that. So I feel like this film is relatable no matter like what age. So yeah, at a baseline, this and The Substance both deal with beauty, but I feel like this one is a little bit more like broad, like it's all encompassing. Where The Substance, I feel like is, I don't know. I guess to me it was more on the age and beauty, the beauty side, because she felt old and like she was aged out. You know what I'm saying? But I could see the comparison too, because the body horror element. Like, that's that's another thing too, because I feel like this is nastier than The Substance was. Yeah. I really do. I actually feel like this is nastier than The Substance. The Substance ain't that bad. This is terrible.
I mean, it was not terrible, but yeah, it was definitely up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. I had overheard other people talk about it at Overlook, and one girl did say like, "Oh, The Substance was nothing," but this I was just like, "Oh."
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment because The Substance, in terms of like the body horror element, don't got shit on the Ugly Stepsister. Like this movie, but I like that, man. I like when movies are like pushing that boundary to really like
There was hardly any boundary in this movie, like, to me.
Yeah. It's like full on all the way.
Yeah, in all aspects.
In all aspects. I think it's super dope. But yeah, anything else you want to add for
that's it. Go watch it. I know it's probably going to have a limited theater release. I don't think it's going to be, a wide release. But if it is in your theater, this is one I would say go out and check out at the movie theater. I know it'll be in theaters here this weekend, April 18th. And the UK, it comes out on the 25th. And I think it'll be coming on Shudder later this year. I don't think they have an official date of when it'll drop on Shudder, but either way, check out The Ugly Stepsister. Add it to your watch list for sure.
Yeah, The Ugly Stepsister, super dope film. I was pleasantly surprised by like how well it's executed on all fronts, from the look, the feel, the direction, the practical effects, the performances. Like it's firing on all cylinders, and it's an excellent film. I would even say, like, I feel like it's a must watch for 2025.
For sure.
This is definitely going to be up there on our list, I feel like, as we get closer to the end of the year.
Yes, and it is a foreign film, as AJ said earlier, so there are subtitles. I know
it's
some of
Norwegian.
Don't like that. But
it's Norwegian, but look, y'all got to get over that. Y'all missing out on some incredible films because y'all don't feel like reading. And I will say that the pacing of reading isn't that bad in this film.
No.
Because I will admit, there are some films where they're talking really fast. And you're like, damn, I got to pause it to, and go back to, I wasn't finished reading.
But it's also not a ton of dialogue.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like a whole lot.
Right. It's a very visual film.
Yeah.
There are moments where they're having conversations, but it's not a ton of dialogue.
It's like, I like what you said. It's visual in the sense of like, what's actually going on screen, and then a lot of the emotional body performance from the actors and actresses. But that being said, y'all need to get over subtitles and check out this film because it's worth reading the subtitles.
I know, and not everybody can do that. So if you're able to.
True. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. If you're able to. If the only reason you're doing it is because you're like, I don't like to read, then you need to get over that and check out this film. And I promise you, like, it'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it. But rating for The Ugly Stepsister, what would you give it?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? Yeah, 4 out of 5. I'll go with that too. It's a really good film. I think because I was damn near about to go 4.5.
I'm surprised. It's funny because I didn't think you were gonna like this at all.
You know what's funny when you say that, because when it first started, I was like, I don't know, it's gonna be my kind of movie.
I didn't think you were gonna like it.
It quickly became my kind of movie. I was like, oh shit! Like, now there are some slower parts. I think that's what keeps it from being a 4 for me. Like,
because there's like a dance number in there.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, we're sitting in there. Like, I get the point of it. Beautiful scene, well crafted. Oh, yeah, I get it,
definitely.
But just like my personal preference, I'm like,
you know what?
Okay, I get it.
That might also be why I thought about Argento too, because I just recently watched Suspiria, and a lot of these elements are very similar.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
that's even like the little dance studio, all that. Yeah, it is very kind of. It is similar. You're right. Yep. But yeah, so I agree with you. 4 out of 5. This is a super dope film. Like, congratulations to everybody involved in The Ugly Stepsister, because you made it an incredible film, and I look forward to seeing what she does next.
Absolutely.
If you said this was her first feature debut, wow, like that's amazing. So you are super talented, Amelia. Like, can't wait to see what you do next. But for everyone out there watching and listening, make sure you check out The Ugly Stepsister if it's playing in your area theatrically, and hopefully we'll get that VOD release date here pretty soon. Thank you for joining us on this spoiler-free review. Make sure you check out our channel, either on YouTube or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We got a ton of other reviews that are out right now. We just did our horror news recap from last week, where we talked about things like Sinners being 100%. Like, we were like, man, this is going to be the highest rated film of 2025. Shit, maybe. I
wonder if it's still there or not, because I know a lot of people had a screening last night. We need to double check.
True, we do got to check it. You're right. A lot of people did go last night. I would be curious to see what it's at now. But we talked about that. We talked about the Carrie TV series being show ran by Mike Flanagan. Then, of course, we got other spoiler-free reviews out. We got Clown in the Cornfield. And then a bunch of other stuff. So make sure you're subscribed and following the channel. We'll be at NorwestCon this weekend. We're doing a pop culture convention. We'll be doing a few panels and stuff like that. So if you're in the Seattle area, check out NorwestCon. We will be there. But other than that, again, thank y'all so much for the support. Thank you for checking out this video. Shout out to the Patreon and YouTube memberships. We love y'all. We love everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. We out. Peace.